So in the month of July, I only used 5 palettes. These are the palettes in a random order. Just because I don't want to spoil my ranking, okay? I want to start this ranking saying that I really enjoy all of these palettes. I think all of them have a great formula, but just another palette beat that one out, if that makes sense. So, in 5th place, it is my Huda Beauty Naughty Nudes palette. So, for the July 4th sale at Sephora, Huda palettes were half off. So, naturally, I bought 3. You know, why not? So, this was obviously one of them. And if I could open it, this is what it looks like on the inside. Yeah, so this is so pretty. I'm wondering why it took me so long to try Huda's formula. Probably because it's like $70, you know, it's fine. But the reason this is in last, and I do have one of my other Huda palettes in here too, but why this one's ranking in 5th, which kind of makes me sad because I do like this palette, but one of these palettes has to be in 5th place, is because these tones pull very pink, and I'm not the biggest pink fan, but I'm slowly getting there. Like, I think this is really pretty on me, and these shimmers are so pretty. They're so sparkly and just gorgeous. Also, just want to mention, for Huda being $70, her packaging feels kind of cheap. Like, it's just plastic, and yeah, I mean, like, not to compare brands, but like to compare brands. Like Natasha Denona, her palettes are the same price, but I only have one of her palettes, okay? And that's the Yucca palette. But it feels so luxurious. Like, this literally just feels like cheap plastic to me. I mean, it has a huge mirror, which is really nice, but the quality is really nice in this palette. It's just the color story that's not my favorite. My number 4 palette is a new palette, and I should have the first impressions coming up pretty soon because I already have it filmed. I just haven't uploaded it, so. But that is the Cosmic Brushes Delicious Delights palette. This packaging is so pretty. Like, this foiling is holographic. It has little stars. It's just so cute. This one also comes with a pretty nice mirror. And I also like that this palette folds all the way back very easily. But this is what it looks like on the inside. Sorry for the blinding foiling on the inside. But this is like, I would consider this like a bright pastel palette, if that makes sense. Like minty, like zesty, sweetie, ice pop, marshmallow, and like milkshake are considered pastels, but I feel like they actually have like a little pop to them. Like, they're not those super white based pastels that you need to layer on a lot. So I like that. This does include a multi-chrome right here in the shade Sprinkles. Not sure if you can see that shift, but I will say this is I think this is a black based multi-chrome. So it's kind of interesting how they decided to put this type of multi-chrome in a pastel palette. Like, it's pretty. I would see it being used with like the darker purples or like the orange, you know, like a little bit of darker shades. And then this also has Delicious, which is this iridescent duochrome, which is like a blue to purple shift. The reason why this is coming in 4th place, and I only have one other colorful palette in this ranking, then again, I do only have 5 palettes in this ranking, but the shimmers are pretty, don't get me wrong. They're just not my favorite formula. Like, I prefer a sparkly shimmer like I have on my eyes today. And yeah, I do think that this is a great quality. I do love Cosmic Brush's quality, I have two of their other palettes, the Serenity and the Muse, and I really enjoy both of them. But yeah, I don't know, this is really pretty and I'm really excited to keep using this, but it's just with the other palettes, it just sadly placed fourth. My third place palette is the other Huda Beauty palette that I used last month, and this is the Empowered. This is the palette from last holiday, I believe, and this is what that one looks like. Again, I love Huda's formula. Her mattes are very blendable. They're so easy to blend. It's like they blend themselves. How many times can I say blend in one sentence? But it's more of a buildable formula. So you're not going to get straight up a ton of pigment like you would a lot of indie brands, I find. But I really enjoy it because it's still pretty pigmented. And these are just so pretty. I'm just not the biggest fan of like yellow golds, so that's really one of the only reasons that this is lower than my other two palettes. But I really love the tones of the mattes. It's very like warm toned, and normally her palettes pull very pink heavy, and this does a little bit, but it's not as intense as the other ones, if that makes sense. And I do like how this comes with these two cream shades. As you can probably tell, I've used this black one as an eyeliner, and it worked pretty well for me. It didn't really smear throughout the day, so that's nice. But this is my third place palette. My second place palette. Look, don't yell at me, okay? Yes, this is one of my favorite brands, but, and now you can probably guess what it is if you follow my channel. It's the Blend Bunny Sugar and Grunge palette. I mean, this packaging is literally so pretty. I mean, the flowers, ugh, love it. And then this one also comes with a pretty nice big mirror. And this is what the inside looks like. This is the biggest palette out of all of the ones I have here today. But the reason why this came above Cosmic Brushes is that this has the pastel row that Blend Bunny always has the mid-tones, and then it has these deep shades, which I think, for my preference, Cosmic Brushes is lacking in. There's a deep purple, but like I won't always want to use a purple to deepen out my outer corner. So that's why this is getting ranked higher. And I like that she included a little neutral column right here. And these shimmers, I mean, they're not shifty or anything, but they're sparkly and they're really pretty. And I don't always use shifty shimmers. I mean, the shimmer I used today is not a multi-chrome. I don't even know if it's a duochrome. It might not be. I don't think it's a duochrome either. I don't think it has shift. It's a sparkly green. But the only reason why this is coming in second place is because of my personal preference right now. Like, this is not what I tend to go for either. But it is really pretty. But all in all, I still love this palette. I will continue to reach for it and love reaching for it. So that comes down to my number one palette. I don't think anyone's gonna be able to guess what my number one palette is, honestly. And that's because it's the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette, which I did check earlier today, and this is in stock. And again, this does come with a nice mirror. And then this is what the palette looks like. I mean, look at how pretty this is. Like, I mean, these are so metallic. So this palette actually has a story with me. When I first got it, I was expecting it to be super sparkly and like what I have on my eyes today, and it's just not that. Yes, there are some sparkly shades like Naked Eye, Nearly Natural, Those are kind of sparkly. Raw has a little like silver sparkles in it. Like there are some sparkly shades, but like they're not super big particles, you know? Like they're very minuscule sparkle particles, shimmer particles, I think. So that's why I initially didn't really like this palette, and I thought and still think that these two mattes in the corners are kind of similar. This one's a little more pink toned than this one, but I find that they're kind of unnecessary to have together, and I didn't think that this would be very a cohesive color story, but boy was I wrong. I love making looks with this. Right now I am very much into neutral, simple makeup. Says the girl wearing a dramatic look today. All right, you know, it's fine. But I tend to be more into the simple makeup. Like even if I do play with color, I tend to use one shade, one matte, and then one shimmer and call it a day. So this is literally my aesthetic right now. I love it so much, and the formula is so nice. The mattes blend so easily, and the shimmers, although they're not super sparkly, they're still so pretty. And they do have a new palette launching today, and I told myself I wasn't gonna get it because I spent so much money this month, but I'll probably try to get it. So, you know, who am I to say if I'm gonna buy something or not? But that actually felt like such a quick video. I mean, I did only have 5 palettes to talk about, but I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite palette that you used in July was. I would love to know. That's really all I have for you today. I hope you have a great day, a great night, whatever time it is for you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.